We'll continue with the diabetes mellitus. More details about diabetes mellitus, types of diabetes mellitus will continue now. So diabetes mellitus, this diabetes is a disorder characterized by the excessive urine excretion. Excessive urine excretion. The most common form of diabetes is diabetes mellitus. This is a metabolic disorder. This is a metabolic disorder in which there is an inability to oxidize the carbohydrate due to relative or absolute insulin deficiency. So in case of diabetes mellitus, why there is a hyperglycemia? Because there is insulin deficiency. This diabetes mellitus type 1 is characterized by the elevated glucose in the plasma, and there is ketoacidosis also. Ketoacidosis means there is accumulation of ketone bodies in the blood leading to a condition called ketosis or ketoacidosis. So additional symptoms in diabetes mellitus includes thirst, increased thirst, glucosuria means glycosuria, polyuria, lipemia, and hunger, increased hunger. So other form of diabetes include diabetes insipidus. I told you diabetes insipidus. In diabetes insipidus, what will happen? This is the result of a deficiency of a hormone called ADH, antidiuretic hormone. Because of the deficiency of antidiuretic hormone, there is excessive excretion of urine from the body. So that condition is called diabetes insipidus. Diabetes insipidus is different. Diabetes mellitus is different. The sugar disease which we commonly term, that is called diabetes mellitus. So diabetes insipidus is there is excessive urine output because of the deficiency of ADH. So you should not get confused with the diabetes mellitus and diabetes insipidus. Whenever I am saying diabetes means it is diabetes mellitus, it is the sugar disorder resulted because of hyperglycemia. Coming to the types of diabetes mellitus, as I told you, there are two types of diabetes mellitus, type 1 diabetes and type 2 diabetes. So type 1 diabetes is also called as insulin dependent diabetes mellitus. Insulin dependent diabetes mellitus, IDDM, insulin dependent diabetes mellitus. So this is more commonly termed as type 1 diabetes. It is defined by the development of ketoacidosis in the absence of insulin therapy. If these patients are requiring insulin, these patients require insulin for their treatment. So without insulin, they develop a condition called ketoacidosis. So type 1 diabetes is most often manifests in the childhood. Hence this type of diabetes is also called as juvenile diabetes mellitus or juvenile onset diabetes or type 1 diabetes or insulin dependent diabetes mellitus, IDDM means insulin dependent diabetes mellitus. So this is the result of an autoimmune destruction of beta cells of the pancreas. This type 1 diabetes is resulted because of the autoimmune destruction of beta cells of the pancreas. Now there is another type of diabetes mellitus called type 2 diabetes mellitus. This is called non-insulin dependent diabetes mellitus. Non-insulin dependent diabetes mellitus. This is characterized by the persistent hyperglycemia, but rarely it can lead to ketoacidosis condition. So type 2 diabetes generally manifests after the age of 40 and therefore has the name of adult onset type of diabetes. So type 2 diabetes is also called as adult onset type of diabetes. This is also called as non-insulin dependent diabetes mellitus. Usually for this patient we don't give insulin. We don't give insulin as a primary treatment. So type 2 diabetes can result from genetic defects that can cause both insulin resistance and insulin deficiency. Type 2 diabetes can result from genetic defects that can cause both insulin resistance and insulin deficiency. These two terms you should remember, insulin deficiency and insulin resistance. I will explain you also. There is a strong correlation between obesity and the onset of type 2 diabetes when with its associated insulin resistance. One student told that obesity means overweight. They are overweight. So actually type 2 diabetic patients are obese, means they are what we call overweight. They are fat in size. They are obese. They are called as obese. They are fat in size. So obesity is usually associated with the type 2 diabetes mellitus, and in type 2 diabetic patients the insulin resistance is commonly observed. Insulin resistance means we have done the glucose tolerance test to confirm whether the patient is diabetic or not. Okay, so I told you that is called glucose challenge test also. Glucose challenge test. So here what we are doing, we are giving the patient in glucose tolerance test about 75 grams of glucose is given to the patient for the testing. So this 75 grams of glucose you are giving it to the body. Now what will happen, there is rapid uptake of glucose from the intestine. As a result there is an increased load of glucose in the blood. So as a result what will happen, insulin should be produced in the body because of increased blood glucose concentration. Now by providing high glucose concentration, now you are challenging your body insulin to clear this glucose. If your body is producing good amount of insulin, your glucose will be cleared immediately within 1 hour. Half an hour to 1 hour, your glucose is cleared immediately. So you are challenging your body to clear this glucose, means you are challenging the insulin produced in your body by giving 75 grams of glucose. That is why I call this test also as glucose challenging test. So if you are normal, your body produces insulin, and insulin will clears the glucose by promoting glycolysis, by promoting HMP pathway, by promoting glycogen synthesis. Understand? So if your insulin is not produced properly, then what will happen? Your glucose will not be cleared from the blood. As a result, hyperglycemia will be developed. That is why insulin deficiency can be identified. Insulin deficiency can be identified by glucose tolerance test. So in case of type 2 diabetic patients, there is insulin deficiency. And another term I told you, insulin resistance. Insulin resistance means your body is producing good amount of insulin also, but your body cells are not responding to your insulin concentration because the receptors for insulin in the body cells are not there. So your body will not take the glucose even though insulin is produced in normal concentration. Then that condition is called as insulin resistance. Insulin resistance. So many children, if you see nowadays, they are obese and they are progressing towards type 2 diabetes at a smaller age, at an young age, with an increasing rate. So this is a danger, causing and making an alarm for the population to cautious about their dietary habits. Now type 2 diabetes can be because of pancreatic disease also. Maybe problem in the pancreas can lead to this insulin deficiency. So as a result they may progress towards type 2 diabetes. Okay. So insulin dependent diabetes mellitus or type 1 diabetes mellitus, if you see the etiology, the type 1 diabetes has been shown to be the result of an autoimmune reaction to antigens of the islet cells of the pancreas. So there is excessive secretion of glucagon in insulin dependent diabetes mellitus patients. So normally hyperglycemia leads to reduced glucagon secretion. Normally hyperglycemia leads to reduced glucagon secretion, but in these patients there is excessive secretion of glucagon. There is excessive secretion of glucagon because continuously the patients will be suffering from lacking the glucose in the cells. So as a result there is excessive secretion of glucagon in case of type 1 diabetes mellitus or insulin dependent diabetes mellitus. So the resultant is inappropriately elevated glucagon levels is observed in case of type 1 diabetic patients. Okay, so deficiency of insulin leads to elevated levels of free fatty acids in the plasma. As a result, it progresses to uncontrolled lipolysis, means breakdown of lipids in the adipose tissue. So the patients will be thin. So glucose metabolism is uncontrolled in case of insulin dependent diabetes mellitus, leads to increased hepatic glucose output. So liver glycogen stores are also mobilized, then hepatic gluconeogenesis is used to produce glucose. So there are so many changes that takes place because of the changes in the metabolism of carbohydrate. So if you see the role of insulin receptors in case of non-insulin dependent diabetes mellitus or type 2 diabetes mellitus is called non-insulin dependent diabetes mellitus. So this is usually observed in obese patients. This is usually observed in obese patients. In case of obese patients, what will happen? In case of obese patients, what will happen? So there is a overeating. Because of overeating, what will happen? Their glucose concentration in the blood is increased, and the insulin receptors will become less for the response to the insulin production. As a result, there is insulin resistance development in the type 2 diabetic patients. This insulin resistance causes many metabolic changes in the body. So there is a derangement of metabolism in the body because of type 2 diabetes mellitus. So as a result, what will happen? Their blood glucose concentration is increased, and insulin is not produced in sufficient quantities. There is insulin deficiency, and these type 2 diabetic patients, they will be suffering from insulin resistance also. So in such patients, what we can do, we can stimulate the production of insulin for the treatment. So type 1 is insulin dependent diabetes mellitus. They need insulin as an immediate source of treatment. Type 2 diabetes mellitus is called non-insulin dependent diabetes mellitus, usually seen in adults. Okay. So in this, there is insulin resistance, and insulin deficiency is also seen in type 2 diabetes mellitus. This is what type 1 and type 2 diabetes